Kevin Melvin here at Morningstar Farms in Greensburg, Kansas. Most years we'll have about 30 circles of irrigated alfalfa, and then we end up handling quite a bit of hay from our neighbors, and we have a lot of shed space here to where we can store a lot of high quality alfalfa in and out of the weather. Most all of this ground would have a 18-inch allocation, which means we could apply 18 inches of water through center pivots. We get about 22 inches annual rainfall that comes scattered out through the spring and summer. It gives us a really nice climate with the heat that we have during the day. There's stretches of a week or 10 days that we don't have any precep, so we have plenty of time to be able to put up some high-quality sun-cured alfalfa. As we're thinking about getting started with hay harvest here, we try to be able to harvest what acres we have in about 10 days. And we've done that through adding more swathers to our system. Having more machines lets us get over things quicker and the dry down in those fields be a little more consistent. We'll start swathing when we see a nice stretch of weather coming. We can be a little pickier with the weather since that we're only going to put up hay for 10 days a month. So normally we'll swath 3, 4, 5 circles a day. We want the ground to be dry, but we have to be mindful that we're scheduling the irrigation. We've cut irrigation off 2 or 3 days ahead, and you have systems stacked up, and so once you start, you're sort of committed to keep going. After we're done swathing, a lot of times here we'll make what we call 4-day hay. So 4-day hay would be swathed on Monday and then bale it on Thursday. But we always like to go out and check the hay the night before we're gonna bale. We wanna go out and check for any green stems, and so we're always checking the edges of the windrow and trying to peel those stems with our fingernails. If everything's cured out, we're happy that we're gonna be able to rake. We never wanna rake things till the morning of the day we think we'll bale it. Here we can get enough humidity that they could get so wet that they never dry back out the next day. And sort of the worst thing for us is to have windrows that get a rain on them or a shower. A lot of mornings we'll have the rakes in the field, try to wait till the sun first comes up, but you know, sometimes we'll rake at 3 or 4 in the morning. Everybody likes it a lot better when we can start at 6:30 or 7, and fortunately that's the case here. So we're always watching on our phones, different apps that forecast the wind and the humidity. So we'll try to start when the humidity is about 70% and then try to plan to be done by the time it gets to 50%. First cutting, we'll put 2 windrows together, and then typically from first cutting on, we'll be able to put 3 windrows together. And so just about one rake can do 130 acre circle a morning, and that works out really well for us. We can typically start baling right after lunch here. And so anytime that the ambient temperature is less than 100 degrees Fahrenheit and we have more than 20% humidity, we feel like we can do a pretty good job of holding the leaves and making nice quality alfalfa. We're on a 5.5 cutting system here. You know, we try to get over all the acres 5 times, and then normally the better acres that hold water a little better, we'll have 6 more of a clipping cutting on it. So normally our irrigated alfalfa, the better ground, will be in that 8.5, 9 tons an acre production, and you expect about 1/3 of that to come off of first cutting. And then, you know, we have some more marginal ground that'll be in that 6.5 or 7 ton. It's amazing to me in agriculture that we're all fighting for the same cause, to try to feed the world, but we're also open with information. And so we find that very appealing, and we're glad to share what we're doing with our neighbors, whether they're here in our back door or on the other side of the world.
We're halfway across the world, and seeing is believing. Coming and learning from the farmers in Western Kansas and actually seeing them do the practice gives the group confidence to go home and see how they can implement it in their business.
The trip for us as growers was to see the techniques they're using over here that we've heard about and we've started to implement, but wanting to see where we can improve.
Yeah, well, being out in the field, that's great. That's what we want to see. Always wanted to come and see what other people do on this side of the world. And there's so many similarities, but there's a lot of differences as well.
I just love getting out and going to other areas that are doing the same sort of thing as we are, as far as making hay, irrigating lucerne, storing hay and that sort of thing. The opportunity to come over here, it's just little bits and pieces. You get on the farm, have that open conversation, and you just sit down and talk to those guys. It's amazing what you can find out.
It's pretty easy to be told that the hay's getting done and it's sitting at 12s and 13%, but until you actually see it being done in this short period of time and actually look at the probe in the bale yourself, yeah, that's something to be able to see while we're out here.
I really wanted to get in a tractor while I was here, see the steamers running, get a feel and a touch on that, and so it was great to sit in there, ride along and talk to the operators who are running the gear here. So you're not just watching it drive past, you're actually in there having a look and having a feel. So you start dropping your hay guard down now?
Hay guard down and the steam up.
Yep. They're all learning as much from us as what we're learning from them. That's the great part to see. We're happy to share our information and they are back too. It's really important to be able to do that.
We build relationships here where we can contact these guys, with email and phone and all that sort of thing. So we've met some new people, we've met some new friends that are in the same industry. We're all trying to do the same thing. So we build a network.
Coming over here and seeing these guys in Kansas who have been doing it for a longer period of time, and now that we've started using that process, it's, I suppose, allowing us to see where we can improve or simply tweak what we're doing. That's going to help us make a better quality hay sooner, and that was probably one of the main reasons we even looked at this whole process, was how we could condense our program and manage our time better and actually make a better product, which should by rights help our business in the long run.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of hay made over here in a short period of time, which is probably a bit different to what we do at home. Them getting their hay done in 3 and 4 days is fairly impressive.
By having these guys here showing us the process gives us so much more confidence, because the equipment's exactly the same. We're still making hay. We actually know that we can get it right, but we have to try these different processes to get this accelerated drying method to work. By seeing someone else do that, and we can ask the questions how and why and when, just gives our guys the confidence, and I'm sure we can make this same quality product in the 4 or 5 days back in Australia.